There have been rumors circulating for about a year at this point of a brand new Arkham game, a brand new Batman Arkham game coming out of Rocksteady, knowing that they want to pivot as quickly as possible after the colossal failure that was Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. It only makes sense that they would go back to the well that brought them such acclaim before, and well, it's been a while, like Arkham Knight. God, man, even though they lost a lot of cachet with fans with that incredibly awful release of the game back in 2015, it has comported itself nicely and has slotted in quite well with the rest of that trilogy. But then again, even as buggy as that launch was, like the people that made the game what it is, yeah, they aren't necessarily working at Rocksteady anymore. The names are so close. Forgive me, that was an obvious misspeak. But the people that are working at Rocksteady right now, yeah, they did Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Their opinion of Batman, well, you can go ahead and pick it up off of that park bench, care of Harley Quinn. So yeah, not exactly looking forward to anything that they want to do with this, but given that we are very much mired in the slop content era of all of entertainment, a reboot, a sequel, a remake, whatever, is very likely to be coming out of this once great series. And I think it was around, wasn't it around the Game Awards, where it was very heavily rumored that, yeah, Rockstar was working on, I think it was a remake of Arkham Asylum, where I was like, yeah, okay, that game is quite long in the tooth at this point in time. It doesn't really need too many quality of life updates, but yeah, if you want to do a game that's approaching 15 years old, okay, that's been missing out of a few of the different updates you could give to it, like, that makes sense. It's not necessary, but it wouldn't be unwelcome. But now, as we're starting to move on and we're getting back into the announcement season, which is just, kind of sad to think about in and of itself, Rocksteady is making some hirings. It's interesting because about this time last year we were talking about all the layoffs that they were doing, but Rocksteady hires a former Assassin's Creed director for the same role. And yeah, a little bit of background on this guy. Okay, Rocksteady Studios has found their new game director, Bill Money. Oh, great. He worked on Assassin's Creed, Mirage, Valhalla, Origins, and was design director on Arkham Origins. Okay, so he's batting 1 out of 4. But at least a little bit of good news that he has worked on a Batman title, even though it was, Warner Brothers spinoff. Yeah, Warner Brothers Montreal spinoff. Well, he has been there with the good, so if he comes in and he is a game director on whatever they want to do with the Arkham series moving forward, that's all fine. But then again, also working on some of the shittiest Assassin's Creed games. Game director, yeah, he was the director on Mirage, Valhalla, and then Valhalla's DLC, and for Origins as well. That's an interesting resume. Okay. Well, let's take a look at this. Rocksteady is looking at the head of a popular franchise to guide its next game into the future, according to his personal LinkedIn profile. Bill Money has been working as game director at Rocksteady Studios since July of this year. He joins the studio after spending 10 years at Ubisoft Singapore in the same role. During his time with Ubisoft, Money led Assassin's Creed Mirage, Valhalla, The Siege of Paris DLC, and Origins. Prior to Ubisoft, he was a creative director at Darkside Games Studios and a design director at WB Games Montreal. At WB Games, Money worked on Arkham Origins. Yeah, 2 Origins title under his belt, so I guess if we want to get even more speculative, I would imagine that would probably be leading to an Arkham reboot, perhaps? Another origin story? Well, it hasn't been confirmed what game Money will be directing. I mean, you don't bring in somebody with such high-profile credentials not to work on the literally only franchise that you guys have going for you, but okay. But it's believed that the studio's the next game coming out of the studio is going to be the next Batman game. Rocksteady hasn't released a mainline Batman game since 2015's Arkham Knight. Since then, they released Arkham VR for PC and PS4 back in 2016. And of course, yes, the well-loved and super successful Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. And man, that was 2020. That was 2 years ago. No, I thought that was last year. Was that not February of last year? Come on. Earlier this year, the studio laid off an unknown number of staff in its support studio when Suicide Squad wrapped up. Oh shit, I guess it was 2023. Fuck. Time flies when you continue to talk about slop. As far as Batman is concerned, Warner Brothers has gone on record multiple times stating that it is going to focus on its biggest IPs. Yeah, and over the weekend, or maybe you've already seen that video. I think you probably have, depending on my release schedule when it comes to this. But yeah, Warner Brothers is also also out there meddling with NetherRealm Studios, you know, fucking around with the release schedule for Mortal Kombat movie, Mortal Kombat 2 getting pushed from October to May of next year because, oh, look at that, Minecraft was successful, so we need to have another video game movie. Because it had Open Highway in October, we'll just go ahead and have a kick off the summer movie season. Just fucking stupid shit. But no, and then getting them to work on another Injustice game after the second one didn't do all that fucking shit hot in an attempt to, prop up James Gunn's floundering DCU? Like, it's dumb all the way around. So yeah, the next Batman game, whenever it comes, isn't the only Batman title coming either. Yes, Legacy of the Dark Knight. Yeah, we talked about the new Lego Batman game, and it looks pretty good. It looks pretty cool, actually. Expected to release sometime in 2026. So yes, there's going to be quite a lot of Batman content coming out in the near future, and it's interesting, right? Because even if, you know, Rocksteady decides to get off their ass and do another, you know, competent single-player offline Arkham game that might end up being good, you know, that is within their wheelhouse, even though it's not going to be made by the people that made it great to begin with, they're going to go ahead and do that, and if it's, you know, as good as some of the other entries in the series, it will be definitely welcomed with open arms. And then you've got, you know, the already established high quality of the Lego Batman games, the one that looks just like quite expansive in and of itself. And then, of course, you know, seen rumors, and I think I've seen something else about the Batman Part 2, Matt Reeves and Robert Pattinson's take on the Dark Knight going into production in April of next year. I think that's when cameras start rolling. But between now and then, between the announcement of any other Batman games or any other Batman projects, there's a distinct lack of James Gunn Batman. And given we know how well he handles the most established superhero in DC's arsenal, how do you think he was going to handle DC's most popular hero? Yeah, he's probably going to try to... It's interesting, right? Because we'll talk about this, or maybe we already have at this point in time, but one thought that I've had rattling around my head for a while is just why exactly James Gunn isn't reigning with an iron fist when it comes to Batman. Maybe he just doesn't have the cachet quite yet. But the way that he's announcing so many different projects where he's just trying to overwhelm the market to make it seem like he's, you know, he's got a proper idea for the DCU, that he knows exactly what he wants to do, but he doesn't have his Batman quite yet. He wants to go ahead and properly flush out Superman and all that shit. But as, you know, public sentiment around the Superman movie, you know, starting to change here in very short order, I would imagine, I would not be shocked if we didn't get a casting announcement for James Gunn's Batman before the end of the year, but at least, I would imagine, now that we got a concrete production date, a filming schedule for Matt Reeves' Batman Part 2, I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't see. In fact, I would be shocked if we didn't get the name of the next Bruce Wayne before April. Probably to coincide with one of these Batman games either releasing or being announced. So yes, for the sake of everyone, I always want good Batman content. Chances are, and it's wild, right, for how much is actually out there, how much of it is good as compared to bad, is one of the superheroes, regardless of time frame, that always seems to deliver, regardless of the medium. Let's just hope all of these projects end up being on the higher end of things. It's just, you know, there's enough red flags around Rocksteady at this point in time where it gives me pause for thought. And then when it comes to James Gunn, do we even need to elaborate? So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.